So, do I regret moving to Olympia? Like, regret's a really strong word. However, I would say if you were to ask me today, is there any other place I would potentially like to live? And if I didn't move there, I might regret. There is. There's this really cute little town we're going to show you here in just a little second that's on the water, that is quaint, that is charming, that just kind of gives me a little bit of warm fuzzies. I mean, a little bit, not like a lot, but enough, like more than caffeine. So it's one of those type of things.
And that's a lot. So today we are going to show you what makes this small town so special and why you might regret it if you don't move here as well.
So join with us. We're going to jump in the car. We're going to show you our little spot that might get us someday.
We're on the road. We are headed to this quaint little town. I know your curiosity is piqued and you really want to know where we would have wanted to land if we didn't land in Olympia.
And if honestly, if you were today, like if I was pressed, would I regret living in Olympia if I moved here today? Probably not. But as I get closer to retirement, I might regret not moving to this area because so many things that I really enjoy. Matter of fact, a good friend of mine, I was at the coffee, I think it was within the last couple months, and he was trying to convince me because he lives here. And like, you need to move here. You need. It was like the you need. And he's a good friend of mine and he's fairly compelling in personality. So, you know, a need as I don't think so. But I think if I was to say I'm retiring, I would regret not strongly considering here. And also, depending on life stage, you probably want to consider it too.
Yeah. And when we're there today, we're going to show you why it's so quaint. We're going to walk you around in town and we're also going to show you what you can afford and what kind of houses that you can get. And we're going to do a walkthrough of a really gorgeous house that's going to make you want to live here.
Gives me warm fuzzies. It makes me tempted to say, you know what? I mean, I could live here. I could live here.
And after our tour of this wonderful house, we may choose to want to live there.
It's a possibility. I know a realtor. I mean, I know, well, she's a good one. I'm pretty good too, but I know a good realtor. All right, so here's the reveal. Like, here's the grand reveal or mini reveal. But nonetheless, we are in downtown historic area of Gig Harbor. And when you ask me why I would ever be seduced by this place or potentially regret if I don't move here someday for retirement, well, this is why I love this type of environment. It's one of the reasons I love Puget Sound is because there's so many little harbor towns like this one that are charming, delightful, quintessential, and they draw me in every single time I'm by one.
And Gig Harbor is kind of the most quintessential harbor town. It is just amazing. As you can see, this is beautiful behind us. There was just a kayaker out there. So imagine yourself living here and kayaking. There was another big boat pulling out. Imagine yourself living here with a big boat and just heading out on the water. And
yeah, leave your boat at the marina, stop by on the weekends, you're ready to go out, launching pad, coming back. It's got some cute little restaurants that we'll look at here in a little bit. It's just kind of like the most perfect of the South Sound harbor little cities.
Yeah.
And this is Gig Harbor, and we absolutely love it.
So let's go ahead and get off the dock here, and we're gonna go walk you around the little shops and restaurants in the area, and also just talk a little bit more about things that we love.
Absolutely. So one of the big reasons that is a draw for me about Gig Harbor is the idea of retiring in a community like this. Now, not everybody who lives here is retired, that is for sure. There's lots of young families, lots of different types of environments, opportunities for people. But for me, I think this is what it would be so nice to retire at. Nice little quiet town on the water. Yeah. And so it's one of the big compelling parts.
And you can get out any day, every day on the water. Of course, when it's stormy, you might not want to, but it does give you an opportunity for that. And just the beauty, like walking around here every day. Yeah. And that's a good thing to do in retirement.
It's really hard not to be charmed by the community in its entirety. Every little part about it is charming and cute and delightful for sure.
Including all the shops and restaurants. So there are bakeries, there's a distillery, there's several really wonderful restaurants. From casual food to fine dining, there are so many things that are available for living here. How we envision retirement, it might not be your vision, but it is ours, is somewhere where you can just wake up, go get a cup of coffee, have a little pastry, have a lot of beauty surrounding you, take it in real slowly and then maybe, go for a walk and stop in a shop or two and
do a little kayaking in the afternoon on the water, getting out there, and then circle back and say, hey, let's have a cute little restaurant. And what's convenient about Gig Harbor is like, maybe it doesn't have a ton of restaurants that interest you. You're close to Tacoma. You got some other, dining options that are 15, 20 minutes away, half an hour away, and then you're back. So it's just the convenience of it, and it's the slow pace of life that go hand in hand for what we are interested in. And perhaps those are things you're interested in as well.
And then when you're walking around, of course, you can stop in at all the little shops, and we are passing one right now. This is the Dolly Mama, which is quite a cute name. They've got all kinds of great little things that you can get for your home and clothes. We've got kayaks for sale up here, and of course you can rent kayaks.
Absolutely.
You don't even have to own all the things. There's the charters for boats, and you can go out and fish. You can go on a gondola. There are so many things.
Yeah, and there is golfing in the area as well, in case that's something that's important to you. So a lot of people, they like that. I lose too many golf balls, and it just causes me to swear way too much. So I don't golf at all.
Yeah. The other thing that's really important to us, and especially to Joe, this seems to be on the top of his list, is the convenience to the airport.
Yeah.
It's a little bit closer than Olympia.
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes closer, maybe even up to 20 minutes, depending on where you find a place to live. But that type of convenience, especially if you have like kids that are across the country, so to speak, or places that you want to get to, friends, places you want to visit, it's nice to have a little bit more convenience to the airport for sure.
Right, and Joe was talking about being able to go to Tacoma conveniently, and that's another convenient factor about it as well, is you're really close to a big city.
Yeah.
With all the restaurants and all the performances and all the arts and all kinds of things. So even though you're in this small little quaint town, you also have so many great opportunities to just run over to Tacoma really quickly.
Well, and speaking of Tacoma, now Tacoma's great, lots of really wonderful areas in it for sure. But sometimes people think, I want to like kick it up a little bit, maybe move into a little area that's a little bit more exclusive, for sure, a little bit more expensive. So actually, a good friend of mine moved from Tacoma to Gig Harbor because he just really liked the environment. It's a little bit more upscale. It's definitely a quieter, slower pace of life, kind of convenient where you can go in and out of the area like we've talked about. And that was a very important thing to him. And so that was a big move for him. He, in essence, invites me up here all the time that I should move to the area, draw me in, and he's probably just as much of a seducer as the city itself is. But in a good way.
A lot of people choose Gig Harbor when we're talking to them about Olympia, Tacoma, or Gig Harbor. People just like you who are moving from out of town, and they choose it for a different reason than Olympia. Usually it's because they want to be close to Tacoma.
Yep.
And that's the main reason.
Yeah.
And they really like the feel of the area too.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer to jobs, especially if it's closer to Seattle. If you're going to be heading in that direction and you're going to be commuting or need to be in that Seattle or Bellevue because of just work situation, then sometimes that's another consideration of why people move here versus to getting into Olympia. So that just depends on what you're looking for. So if you want to be a little bit closer to Seattle, maybe a little bit more things happening in Tacoma, then this might be the perfect place for you.
Let's do a little 360.
A little 360 of the charm, literally.
With you.
This is just amazing, gorgeous, absolutely in every way.
Wouldn't you want to live here? I think we would. Okay, the first place we are going to take you is going to be on the lower price range for the area, and it's in a condo community.
Yeah, so the condo we're going to look at was actually a nice size. It's 1,766 square feet. It sold for $575,000 this last year, and it has a lot of great things going for it. Once again, we're really close to downtown. It's very walkable, and plus it's a very nice little community that is gated.
It's a really nice, clean community, and Joe said it's gated. This one was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, so you're getting a lot of space for the money. You do have an HOA fee that's in the mid 400s, so you'd have to consider that. But that means that you don't have to worry about the exterior maintenance, and there's so many other great things about this community. In fact, this one has also been updated, so it's a really good buy, and somebody thought so when they bought it this year. The next place we're taking you is in the perfect location.
Yes.
It is a couple blocks off the water, downtown and historic area.
Yeah, so this is just the heartland. And what we're going to be looking at is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's about just shy of 1,100 square feet, and it sold for $780,000 this past year. And it's cute, it's charming, it's all of those things, but there's a little bit of what you could expect if this is something that's important to you.
Yeah, it's got, as Joe said, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's not really big, and you might think, you know, that's kind of a lot, but it's because of the location. For the size, but it's cute. It's been updated inside. It's got a really great sunroom with a very northwesty, like wood paneled area, and I think you would love it.
Absolutely.
I would love it, and it would give us that retirement feel that we were talking about because we'd be walking downtown every day. All right, we're moving up. So the next one we're going to take you to view was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home, over 2,500 square feet, and it sold for
just over $1 million. So, I mean, what you're getting for here, and this is why we wanted to show you this home as well, is because you have a little bit more square footage, you have a little bit more rural feel, it's a little bit more peaceful. You're not very far from downtown, you're a couple miles away. And so it's a convenience factor is still there, and you get this kind of like, you know, in the middle of nowhere lifestyle.
Egg Harbor has a lot of that. There's a ton of trees here. So you get that little waterfront area, and you're pretty much
back in the Pacific Northwest in every way.
In the trees. Some of the features that this house has that makes it stand out, and a reason why it sold so well, is that it's got a beautiful kitchen, really huge island, and of course it's a chef's kitchen, so you've got all the things you need. It's got a great room concept with a beautiful fireplace, and in fact there's 2 fireplaces. There's one out on the covered deck, which is so important in this area. If you want to enjoy the outdoors, then you're going to want a covered deck with a fireplace so you enjoy it all year round. But just driving here, isn't it beautiful? Like, you can see behind us, we are surrounded by trees.
Exhale, like, oh, I'm out in nature.
All right, this last one that we're going to take you to is the best one. We saved the best for last. It's in the Canterwood Country Club community, and we are not just going to tell you about it and drive by. We're actually going to take you inside so you can see what you can get for $1,750,000.
So what you're going to find is these are very large lots, and so lots in this community are usually around a half an acre, and the square footage of the homes are all usually much larger. This one we're going to see is nearly 3,800 square foot. So it's a very nice big home on a nice piece of property. So you have privacy as well as just a really beautiful community that you get to live in.
Right, and the houses in this area go from about $1 million to $4 million. And the $4 million one was very large, but the $1 million ones are still beautiful. So you can get into this neighborhood for a good price.
So we're about ready to give you a tour of what I believe is an absolutely wonderful value for what you get. It's a wonderfully large home nestled in the Northwest trees, and it is stunning in every way.
What I love about this house is it has a very Northwesty feel. It's like a modern Northwest vibe to it. It's filled with light, so many windows, filled with a lot of woodwork, and very unique. There is nothing cookie cutter about this house. And remember, you are in the country club neighborhood, so nearby you've got the 18-hole golf course, you've got tennis courts and pickleball courts, you've got a swimming pool, classes and club activities. So this neighborhood is really an exclusive neighborhood here.
It is perfect to live in or potentially retire in, depending on which way you're going.
That's right. Well, hopefully you're living in it too.
Yeah, you're all one of those things. Now, this is a perfect place if you're looking to retire, or, I mean, you still got to do the work. You've got options for that as well.
So come with us. Let's go take a look. Thanks for going to Gig Harbor with us today. I know we had a lot of fun, and I bet you did too.
And you probably could see why I had a twinge of regret for perhaps not moving there in the first place. Olympia, though, is just wonderful, and we love it. It's a wonderful area that we live in. We had such a wonderful experience with our son going through school. It has been absolutely dynamite. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to ultimately end up retiring in Gig Harbor. So whether you are looking to retire or relocate and you're still, work from home or whatever it might be, or have a job in the Gig Harbor area, it is a wonderful place to live for sure.
And, we are helping people all the time, just like you, who are moving from out of the area. Whether it's Gig Harbor, Olympia, Tacoma, or any of the South Puget Sound areas, We would love to help you, so feel free to just give us a call or text us on the number that you see below. And if you've enjoyed this video, keep watching and like and subscribe.